A contract killer named Pei Xing is sitting around, casually chatting with a group of merchants, even though they are actually a gang of robbers. Pei Xing makes it clear he is only there for the money. A government official has posted bounties on fugitives, and turning them in comes with a reward. He says he is simply here to reclaim government property that was stolen on the road. From what he has heard after taking the goods, these robbers also murdered a Persian merchant and all his guards. Still, Pei Xing is willing to overlook that, as long as their leader, Chu Xiong, cooperates and hands over the jewel they stole. Chu Xiong just smiles, treating Pei Xing like an amateur who is in over his head. He boasts that he is not afraid of any assassin, except for 4 legendary killers whose names alone make people shake. Looking at Pei Xing's worn, rough appearance, Chu Xiong is convinced this man is not the ghost woman, not the white-haired one, and definitely not the ruthless blind assassin or the feared jackal warrior. Chu Xiong and his men prepare to fight, and the clash becomes unavoidable. But Pei Xing turns out to be far more dangerous than they expected. He tears through them, crippling Chu Xiong and dropping the entire crew. The moment it is over, Pei Xing starts searching for the jewel. In that moment, the legend of his blade truly begins. Welcome to Blade of Fury. Only it is not there. After ripping through their crates, he finds nothing like what he came for. Instead, he discovers a woman tied up inside a wooden chest that Chu Xiong was carrying. Chu Xiong claims this woman holds a secret far more valuable than any jewel. Before he can explain, the woman, Liu Zhen, suddenly surges up and kills Chu Xiong with a sword lying on the ground. Pei Xing explodes in anger, because a dead fugitive means no reward. Liu Zhen does not care. She even slaps him, pushing him over the edge. Furious, Pei Xing knocks her out. He rushes to the local government office, the same place he usually goes to collect bounty money. This time, he brings Liu Zhen along, hoping to claim compensation since Chu Xiong died because of her. But an officer named Wu Xiao tells him the rules are the rules. The government wants its fugitives alive, so they can face proper punishment, and there is no payout for bringing in a corpse. Wu Xiao also intends to release Liu Zhen, despite the killing, because under the law, anyone who takes down a major government fugitive does not have to go to prison for it. Then a magistrate named Zhang, Wu Xiao's superior, arrives and refuses to let her walk away so easily. To Zhang, killing is still killing. Because of that, Liu Zhen must be interrogated first before they decide what happens to her. The moment she faces someone as powerful as Zhang, she is terrified. She even begs Pei Xing to kill her instead of letting her be thrown into prison and tortured. Zhang gives Pei Xing a small payment for bringing her in, even though she was never officially a government target. Pei Xing takes the money and allows them to drag Liu Zhen away. He continues on his way, but as he is about to pass through another stretch of road, he spots several guards belonging to a high-ranking ministry official moving along the same route. Pei Xing immediately steps aside and leaves the area, as if he is deliberately avoiding them. The guards appear to be trying to drive away a little girl who is crying in the middle of the road. Guo Shang, a powerful ministry official, steps down from his carriage and harshly orders the girl to clear the path. Pei Xing watches from a distance, then moves on. Later, he heads to a gambling house, hoping to drink and maybe double the money he earned, even though deep down he knows he is terrible at gambling. He also notices a young boy inside and immediately takes it as a bad omen. Pei Xing has always hated children, and to him their presence only brings trouble. It does not take long before he loses everything. After blowing through all his money, he is thrown out of the gambling house. Outside, he spots the same boy being bullied by a group of grown men who are stealing the child's hard-earned coins. Drunk and unsteady, Pei Xing deliberately stumbles into them, using the chaos as a chance to secretly take back the boy's money, even if it means taking a few punches himself. Moments later, Guo Shang's guards arrive and brutally beat the bullies. It turns out these guards were once Pei Xing's comrades back when they served as royal soldiers. After retiring from the army, the 4 of them chose to become Guo Shang's personal bodyguards, while Pei Xing walked a very different path, becoming an assassin and bounty hunter. One of those former comrades, Huo Lan, tells a colleague to give Pei Xing a bit of money so he can at least buy food. Huo Lan also invites him to visit the Bai settlement on Mount Busi. But once Pei Xing sobers up, he wastes that money on more drinking and gambling, until once again he has nothing left. Meanwhile, inside the prison, Liu Zhen tries to seduce a guard in order to steal the keys from him. Just as it seems she might succeed, Huo Lan and his men suddenly arrive and forcibly take her out of the prison. Magistrate Zhang can only lower his head and comply as Huo Lan walks out with her. When Wu Xiao questions their authority to remove Liu Zhen, Zhang tells him not to interfere. Their power, he implies, stands above the law as Wu Xiao understands it. The next day, Pei Xing wakes up and realizes he is in the home of Ying, a female physician he knows. Ying explains that she had a beggar carry him there while he was unconscious because she did not want him dying in the streets. She checks his condition after his recent bounty hunt. Pei Xing tells her she gave him the wrong information. Chu Xiong was not stealing a jewel, he had kidnapped a woman. As for the money he owed her, it is already gone, swallowed up by gambling, so there is no point in asking for repayment. After leaving Ying's house, Pei Xing goes to meet Magistrate Zhang, who has another job waiting for him. This time, he is assigned to capture a husband and wife who are considered extremely dangerous. They are not just thieves, but also killers and traffickers. According to the information he receives, the couple is hiding in an abandoned stone factory on the edge of the city. When Pei Xing arrives, the couple looks terrified. They insist their crime was nothing more than stealing a cow, hardly something that should require sending an assassin after them. But before anything can be resolved, an arrow suddenly flies in and strikes the wanted woman. It turns out Pei Xing is not the only one sent there. Other assassins have arrived as well, including the ghost woman, Lian Ru, along with Mo Men and Jing Jing. Their true target is not the couple at all, it is Pei Xing. Somehow, he has been declared a government fugitive. Outnumbered and forced into a brutal fight, Pei Xing struggles to survive against the three assassins. In the end, he manages to kill one of them and escape. Determined to get answers, he heads back to the city to confront the government bureau and find out why he has suddenly become a wanted man. Before he can even reach the office, two more assassins ambush him. This time, Pei Xing dominates the fight and defeats them with surprising ease. Meanwhile, Zhang is relaxing in a brothel when someone pounds impatiently on the door. As he goes to answer it, Pei Xing bursts in and demands to know why he has been marked as a fugitive, especially since they had met earlier that same day, and Zhang said nothing. Terrified, Zhang explains that the arrest order came directly from higher authorities. As a mere magistrate, he claims he has no power to question it. He suggests that it may be connected to the woman Pei Xing brought in earlier. There is a rumor that anyone who dares to touch that woman will be executed. Hearing this, Pei Xing grows deeply curious about Liu Zhen and decides to dig further. That night, while Pei Xing is on his way home, Wu Xiao secretly follows him and shares valuable information. He explains that after Pei Xing left the bureau, Liu Zhen was thrown into prison. Not long after, guards belonging to a ministry official named Guo Shang forcibly removed her from her cell. Wu Xiao admits he does not know much about Guo Shang, except that he is a highly respected official, even above Zhang in influence. Recently, Guo Shang has hired villagers to cut timber everywhere in order to build a tall tower on Mount Buzi. No one seems to know its true purpose. At the same time, Guo Shang is holding Liu Zhen in a heavily guarded private prison where she is being tortured. He promises her immense wealth if she agrees to cooperate, but Liu Zhen refuses to give in. Even when threatened with death, she refuses to reveal her secret. Guo Shang understands her stubbornness, yet he has no intention of letting her escape. The next day, Pei Xing arrives at Guo Shang's residence on Mount Busi, answering Huolan's invitation. Huolan seems genuinely pleased that Pei Xing finally decided to come. He explains that he and the others are living much better lives now as Guo Shang's personal guards. Then he escorts Pei Xing inside to meet the man himself. Inside the chamber, Guo Shang is calmly watching two men fight to the death for his entertainment. The loser, he has decided, will be fed to the wolves. It quickly becomes clear that Guo Shang already knows about Pei Xing's past as a royal soldier, how he helped crush a rebellion alongside Huolan and the others. Impressed by his achievements, Guo Shang says he would gladly welcome Pei Xing into his service and promises him every pleasure he could want. But Pei Xing did not come to serve. He came to negotiate. He knows Guo Shang is searching for the child Liu Zhen gave birth to not long ago. Pei Xing offers a deal. He will find the baby boy, but only if Guo Shang removes his name from the bounty list. Guo Shang is visibly surprised that Pei Xing knows so much. He then reveals the truth. The baby is the son of the prime minister, a powerful man who desperately wanted a son in his old age. However, internal conflicts within the prime minister's family led to the child being seen as a disgrace. Before the baby was even a month old, Liu Zhen took him and fled the capital to protect him. After hearing everything, Pei Xing makes a bold promise. He will deliver the boy within 10 days. If he fails, Guo Shang is free to kill him and feed him to the wolves. But if he succeeds, the bounty on his head must be withdrawn. With that agreement in place, Pei Xing leaves immediately to begin searching for the child. At the same time, Lian Ru and Mao Men arrive, determined to kill Pei Xing in revenge for their fallen companion. Huolan steps in and stops them, explaining that the bounty on the jackal, Pei Xing, has been temporarily suspended. They are stunned that Huolan dares to command them so casually. Refusing to accept his authority, they draw their weapons and prepare to fight him. Meanwhile, Pei Xing returns to Ying's home, and tells her everything he has learned about Liu Zhen. In truth, much of what he knows about the child is only a guess. When Liu Zhen begged him before, he saw in her eyes a willingness to die to protect something, or someone, precious. That conviction convinced him there must be a child. Pei Xing asks Ying to help him find Liu Zhen's son. Ying reaches out to the network of street beggars, gathering information about anyone connected to Liu Zhen. Soon enough, they get a lead. Pei Xing meets a young girl who guides him to the home of Ji Yi, a middle-aged woman Liu Zhen once trusted to care for her baby. Ji Yi explains that Liu Zhen left the child in her care, along with a mirror, promising she would return soon. But she never did. Now overwhelmed with raising her own 3 children, Ji Yi is relieved when Pei Xing arrives to take the baby. Since Liu Zhen never told her the boy's real name, she has been calling him Xiao Bao. On the journey toward Guoshang's residence, Pei Xing quickly realizes that taking care of Xiao Bao is far more difficult than he expected. He has never liked children, and now he is stuck carrying one everywhere he goes. Yet little by little, something begins to change. Somehow the baby helps him sleep peacefully. For years, Pei Xing has been tormented by nightmares from his past. But with Xiao Bao beside him, those restless nights begin to fade. Not long after, a skilled tracker approaches him and delivers a letter from Wu Xiao. In the letter, Wu Xiao reveals the deeper truth. Guoshang is the illegitimate son of the Prime Minister, Li Changji, and he handles the ministry's dirtiest affairs. Because Li Changji is old and his wife could not bear him a child, he deliberately impregnated Liu Zhen in hopes of having a son. A prophecy claimed that this boy would bring immense happiness and fortune. The Prime Minister was thrilled by the prophecy, but his extended family was not. They disapproved of Liu Zhen and saw the child as a disgrace. When Liu Zhen learned that the family wanted her son dead, she fled the capital to protect him. Meanwhile, Guoshang used his authority to hunt her down, claiming it was on the Prime Minister's orders. In reality, Guoshang has his own ambition. He wants to inherit his father's position, and he plans to sacrifice Liu Zhen's son during the full moon as part of a dark ritual. He practices forbidden black magic from the western regions, and the child is meant to be the offering. On the 10th day, Pei Xing finally arrives at Guoshang's residence with the baby. At first, he tries to ignore everything Wu Xiao revealed. All he wants is his freedom, to continue living as an assassin and bounty hunter without a price on his head. But doubt creeps in. Even his horse seems to resist moving forward, as if refusing to let him hand the child over. When Pei Xing tries to leave, the horse refuses to follow his command. In the end, he cannot go through with it. He turns back and takes Xiao Bao to Ying's house instead. Ying is shocked to see him bringing the baby there. She questions why he would protect a child when he has always despised them. Pei Xing admits that he simply wants to see Xiao Bao grow up. For that to happen, he needs to stay alive, and that means protecting the boy. Hearing this, Ying allows him to keep the child, knowing that deep inside, Pei Xing is not as heartless as he pretends to be. The memories of his past begin to surface. Years ago, he was forced to kill 2 children in front of their mother because their father had been branded a traitor by the king. He did not want to do it, but under Huo Lan's pressure, he swung his sword. The mother, unable to bear the horror, chose to take her own life on his blade. Now, in the present, Pei Xing refuses to repeat that sin. He decides he will save Liu Zhen as well. Before leaving, he tells Ying to find a safe place for Xiao Bao if he does not return by dawn. Soon, Pei Xing reaches the location where Liu Zhen is believed to be held captive. He is not alone. Wu Xiao has also come, determined to rescue her, even though he lacks Pei Xing's fighting skills. Wu Xiao is prepared to report Guoshang's crimes to the authorities, even if it costs him his position. As Wu Xiao surveys the area, he notices something strange. There are no guards in sight, even though a place like this should be heavily protected. Wu Xiao tells Pei Xing to be careful before heading inside, promising to stand guard outside. Once inside, Pei Xing immediately senses something is wrong. The place is completely empty, not a single guard in sight, as if it has been abandoned on purpose. And in fact, it has. Huo Lan already knew Pei Xing would try to rescue Liu Zhen, so he ordered the guards to withdraw. At the same time, Huo Lan confronts Wu Xiao outside. Deeper within the compound, Pei Xing comes face to face with a legend. The white-haired assassin, Dong Hai, has been waiting for him. Dong Hai is ranked #1 among all assassins, and he has long wanted this fight. Strangely, Pei Xing feels honored. For someone of Dong Hai's status to personally come and kill him is almost a form of respect. An intense battle between the 2 most feared killers erupts. It is brutal and exhausting. But in the end, Pei Xing manages to defeat Dong Hai. In his final moments, Dong Hai wonders why Pei Xing would risk his life to protect a child who means nothing to him. The man he is facing now is nothing like the ruthless jackal he once knew. Dong Hai even envies Pei Xing for living so freely, accepting death as something that could come at any time. After the fight, Pei Xing finally finds Liu Jin. She is weak and barely holding on. As he cradles her, he shows her the mirror that belongs to her son and assures her that the boy is safe. Relief washes over her. Before she dies, she knows someone is willing to protect her child. When Pei Xing returns to Ying's house, something feels wrong. The place is dark and silent. Inside, he finds Wu Xiao's severed head on the table. It becomes clear that Huo Lan has been there. Ying has betrayed him, revealing the child's location. Not long after, Huo Lan and his men attack, cornering Pei Xing. Huo Lan orders one of his comrades, Wei, to finish him, but Wei cannot bring himself to do it. Without hesitation, Huo Lan kills Wei for his refusal. In the chaos that follows, Pei Xing seizes the opportunity to escape. Later, at Guo Sheng's residence, Zhang suggests they issue a public notice claiming that Wu Xiao and Pei Xing have rebelled, so the public will not question their deaths. Huo Lan brushes him off. The only thing that matters now is preparing the altar for Guo Sheng's ritual. After Huo Lan and the others leave, Pei Xing returns to confront Ying about her betrayal. Terrified, Ying explains that she had no choice. She did not want to return to the painful life she once endured. She reminds him that she has always cared for him and that he never once considered her before choosing to risk everything for someone else. Hearing this, Pei Xing finally realizes his mistake. He admits that he has rarely shown any concern for Ying, despite all the time she helped him. After carefully restoring Wu Xiao's body, Pei Xing prepares himself for what comes next. Xiao Bao has already been handed over to Guo Sheng, and there is no more time to hesitate. Before he leaves, Ying warns him to be careful. Huo Lan has grown far more powerful since obtaining the legendary universe sword once wielded by Bei, the god of killing. Soon after, Pei Xing visits his own grave, the place where he once buried the weapons from his days as a royal soldier. He digs them up, reclaiming the steel and memories of who he used to be. This time, he is not fighting for money or glory. He is going to take Xiao Bao back and eliminate everyone responsible for this nightmare. At the altar, Guo Sheng expresses his gratitude to Huo Lan. Without him, none of this would have been possible. Liu Jin's son is finally within reach. Guo Sheng promises Huo Lan an even higher position once everything is complete, as long as he continues to obey. Ambition binds them together. Not long after, Pei Xing arrives at the altar to stop the ritual and rescue Xiao Bao. He is immediately confronted by his former comrades, Mei and Bo. They try to persuade him to back down. They do not want to fight an old friend, but in their eyes, Pei Xing has interfered with their master's plans, and that leaves them no choice. A fierce battle breaks out. The three of them are evenly matched, skill for skill. Even alone, Pei Xing manages to defeat both Mei and Bo. Instead of finishing them, he tells them to leave. Despite everything, he still considers them old friends and refuses to kill them. But in an instant, a spear slices through the air and strikes them both down. The weapon was thrown by Fang, another of their comrades who is disgusted by their sympathy toward Pei Xing. To Fang, Pei Xing is an enemy, nothing more. Pei Xing is forced into another brutal fight, and this time he struggles. At the same moment, the ritual begins. A shaman prepares to sacrifice Xiao Bao. Seeing this, Pei Xing pushes past Fang and charges toward the altar. He kills the shaman swiftly, stopping the sacrifice just in time. With Xiao Bao safe for the moment, Pei Xing turns back to Fang. Fueled by rage over the deaths of his old friends, he attacks relentlessly. Fang eventually falls to his knees, begging for mercy, but Pei Xing cannot forgive him. The sight of Mei and Bo lying dead because of Fang's actions seals his decision. He kills him without hesitation. Soon, Huo Lan steps in personally to stop Pei Xing's rampage. The two clash in a battle that shakes the altar itself. Huo Lan's universe sword is overwhelmingly powerful, and Pei Xing's blade can barely withstand it. Even so, Pei Xing refuses to surrender. Drawing on every ounce of strength he has left, he fights back. Using burning embers from the altar, he manages to blind Huo Lan when sparks strike his eyes. In that brief opening, Pei Xing unleashes his final technique and kills him. Watching the sheer ferocity of the fight, the remaining guards choose to flee rather than risk their lives against him. The next day, Guo Sheng is in his residence when he is confronted by a shocking sight. Xiao Bao is alive, and standing beside him is Pei Xing. This time Pei Xing is not there to negotiate. He has come for revenge over Liu Zhen's death. Without hesitation, Pei Xing beats Guo Xiang mercilessly. He tortures him and leaves him crippled, paying him back for everything he did to Liu Zhen. But in the end, Pei Xing spares his life. Death would be too easy. He wants Guo Xiang to live and suffer for the rest of his days. Guo Xiang burns with rage, yet he is powerless. Even his guards are too afraid to step in. Before leaving with Xiao Bao, Pei Xing receives a final warning. Guo Xiang swears that from now on, every assassin in the world will hunt him down. He will not rest until Pei Xing is beheaded. As the story nears its end, Pei Xing and Xiao Bao arrive at a crossroads. One path leads left, toward the bright road to the capital, where wealth and comfort await. The other path leads right, into the dangerous world of martial warriors, filled with hardship but also the promise of greater strength. Then during the mid-credit scene, a lone wanderer is seen eating at a small roadside stall. He receives a wanted poster bearing Pei Xing's name. When the camera reveals his face, it becomes clear that this man is none other than the legendary blind assassin, Xiao Miao. So the moral of the story is never babysit a random baby during a dark ritual and assassin war, because you might end up a wanted dad with zero gambling money.